So we are doing 3 vehicles today for Dr. Thousand's office, 2 of which I believe are either his and maybe his father's, and definitely Carol, who manages the office, is getting hers done. So altogether it's going to be 3 full details, and we're going to use all the premium products and really try to knock their socks off on this service. We can rinse out the bed of the truck and close it up and get started on the wash part. We'll get the rims cleaned up, dry it, and dress the tires and get some wax on it. So went ahead and started on the vacuum, got this side done, and we'll be on the other side for a minute. And then it'll just need some wipe down and another once over when we're done. So this is car number 3. We're finishing up at Dr. Thousand's office. And what we did here is we did a patch just on this corner of the deck lid with a fine clay bar to smooth out the texture of the finish. And we re-waxed and sealed everything up so that it has protection on it. But there will be a noticeable difference from over here to how smooth it feels to the customer. So we're gonna have her come out and rub both sides of the deck lid and explain to her the difference and how much more contamination we could get off with a service that involves clay bar. And give her that little example basically and let her decide if she wants to include that with her next service. So another thing that we found today when we were cleaning wheels is that each of the tires had some black sludge up in the lip that looked like there was a coating that had worn off, and it was sort of shiny but sludgy, and you pretty much had to scrape it off. It almost looks like we're gonna have to come back with a really hard bristle brush, and hopefully not a wire brush, but really strong cleaner, and scrub it off, basically scrape it off and basically scrape it really clean, and possibly use the tire and rubber rejuvenator after that. Hopefully that'll really strip it down to looking almost new again. And then if they need a coating, we'll use like a Mckees tire coating or something like that. The Mckees37 would definitely not have left that behind. And that's an example of using cheaper products. What you get in the long run is pretty much what you pay for. And I would not have wanted to use that on my vehicle. So I'm glad to be using Mckees, and I'm always glad to turn somebody new onto it as well. I usually like using them square applicators that Mckees sends you with the tire stuff, but today I'm having to use one of these little guys that I had left over because I can't find my square ones, and this one kind of gets it done. At least it is kind of little. It's not one of them big round ones. Not big on the round shape because it doesn't allow you to get fine tuning done. Sometimes it needs to be done with a square point. So this rectangular one, being tiny, also has its advantages, and I like having it for a backup. So what we're doing today is we've gotten it as clean as we can, and we're putting SiO2 shine back on it, and what that's doing is allowing it to look more original, new looking, and in good shape, without being all wet and oily looking, because that stuff can be kind of messy. And this right here will be dry to the touch by the time I walk away from it, and it'll keep a new nice dark black look to it. So the SiO2 is a great tire enhance, shine, rejuvenate, whatever. It really it does a lot for your rubber, and avoiding long-term damage and dry rotting on the sidewalls and all that. But it actually, if you do 2 coats, can even go pretty shiny for you But for your people that like live on dirt roads or they're going to be exposed to dirt, you don't want all that sticky, shiny stuff on your tires anyway. Alright, so we went around and we did the SiO2 shine on each tire. We've treated the whole thing with Hydro Blue. And then we're going back over it with an extender wax to kind of smooth it out, because Hydro Blue works best with an ultimate level of decontamination first. And I find that if it's not as clean as it needs to be, as in not prepped very well, just a simple wash to a car that's in much rougher condition isn't enough really. And when you go to do the Hydro Blue at that point, while it's still rough, you kind of get mixed results. You get streaky, splotchy, you get smooth here and rough there. You don't get the ultimate turnout, and a lot of it has to do with the customer wanting to believe that the car doesn't need all of the decontamination involved before you put the product on, and you not being able to get possibly enough money to make it worth your time. And then you end up trying to do something that just actually doesn't work, where you have to come back over with a whole different process to make up for it and ultimately lose even more time. So it's best to stick to your guns when you know something, no matter how desperate the customer seems to be or how much they want what they want for what they want it for. It has to make sense for the business, and I've learned the hard way myself, like everybody. But when it comes down to it, you really only want to give them something that's going to help them. And sometimes that'll hurt their feelings. Vehicle number 1 is done here at Dr. Thousand's office. This is his personal truck. I am doing the inspection now. Everything checks out real well. We got all the leaves out from under the hood. We got the wheel wells really good. The wheels were cleaned 360 degrees. Meaning the barrels on the back side all the way through, wheel wells all the way around, underneath as far as we can get, really good on the step. And then of course on the roof we did a really good job, and we blew out the bed and treated and cleaned both sides of the cover. Then we closed it back up and put all his stuff back in it and detailed the interior, which actually didn't need full shampoo. It was a pretty easy interior. So we did a nice little vacuum and wipe down of everything. Real good on the inside. Did the door jambs and windows on both sides. Put the mats back in after cleaning them really well, and gave it a little fresh smell. So everything looks good, checks out, and off to the dentist to give him his keys. Thanks again, Scotty. This is Rob and Scotty.